All right, welcome back to the Supernatural podcast. Hunting people, saving things.
Yeah, getting back to basics.
Back to basics. Tonight's episode was Paper Moon. What did you think, Phelan?
I kept waiting for the paper moon to show up and was very disappointed.
You didn't even know it was called Paper Moon till I just said it, did you?
No, I did see the title was Paper Moon.
Oh, okay. What does that even mean? Is that a reference to something?
Yeah, but I don't remember the reference.
Okay. We'll just pretend that the moon was made of paper.
Yeah. Then Sam tried to eat it and got it stuck down his throat. Then they had to make a deal with demons to get it out of his throat. And it's going to be this big thing involving moping at the bunker because they made the deal.
That's one thing I will say was good about this episode. There was no bunker at all, so no moping in the bunker. There was no torture scenes at all. There were no angels and no demons, outside of
Yeah,
referencing that Dean once was one.
yeah. The very beginning of this episode was probably the best part because they go downhill after that. But now just seeing Sam and Dean being somewhat jovial in
Yeah,
a scene was kind of different.
yeah, I liked that. I like they had some downtime, but then it sort of drifted off into
Yeah, once they started the
backpedaling again.
plot, and then, yeah, it went downhill for Dean particularly fast. Sam wasn't too bad or anything.
Well, it didn't feel, I didn't hate it, but it didn't feel like it was treading any new ground.
Well, I don't like that they need to seem to have to keep doing this with old returning characters. Is like, hey, look, they've got something that sort of parallels something with Sam and Dean. It's like what they did with the Ghost Facers. It's like, hey, get it? This is kind of like stuff with you two.
Well, I don't mind the parallel with this because at least with this character it made more sense tonally and they didn't just repeat the exact same thing.
No, it wasn't as insulting as the Ghost Facers one, but it's just the fact they did this again with a
But
returning character.
yeah, but the thing with her too, I had to refresh my memory as to what happened in that episode. They returned the character from that Bitten episode where it was the Sam and Dean light, where they find the footage of her friend turns into a werewolf and he turns her into a werewolf and she has to kill him, yada yada yada. Um, it seemed like they were kind of doing the same thing as what happened there again, because once again she had to
Yeah.
kill someone because of it, um, to do the right thing. And then they also, it wasn't entirely the whole thing, but it's sort of like, here's what happened in the past, and she tells the story like she did with the other one.
This was kind of funny because what was it? They pull out um forest ranger outfits or something like
It was
that.
game warden, like
Game ward.
animal control, basically.
Right, yeah. Like I want to know where Sam and Dean get their resources to pull uniforms like that just out of the blue at this point.
Well, Sam's a
You,
very gifted seamstress, you know.
yeah. Just missing scene of Sam at the bunker sewing these together. But like I could believe that more back when Bobby was around because he had connections and stuff. Like maybe he could get them uniforms and stuff like fairly quick. But now it's just those two bozos and their bunker. And unless the bunker had one, like I don't think so. And the bunker would probably have one like when was that last used by the men of letters?
Yeah.
The
Well,
50s or something.
I guess you can assume that they've collected various types of work uniforms for hunting business.
I guess they just kept them in the car before they had the bunker.
Yeah, I guess, along with all their fake IDs and stuff, and their suits.
Hmm.
And their clothes.
It,
Where did they keep their clothes whenever they're traveling? They don't carry suitcases.
they don't wear anything else.
No, they have various collections of plaid and layers of jackets and jeans. Um, But
So
yeah,
maybe,
that's a good question. Where do they keep all their clothes and stuff? Where'd they do that before?
yeah,
Because their trunk was full of weapons. They never showed they had suitcases in there.
yeah, that's true. If
Now
they
I'm
hadn't
just,
have shown that they don't have anything else in the trunk.
yeah. Now I'm just confused. Now I just want to know how that all worked.
Yeah. But I think this is one of the few times where they didn't just come in and say, "Hey, we're Mulder and Scully FBI." So,
Yeah, well, I like that was a little different. And one of the things I did like about this episode was that it was a bit more like the beginning. They were just sort of like focusing on one case.
hmm
Um, we had some manly talking about your feelings in the car scenes.
yeah. I need to talk about my feelings, Sammy.
No, no, first it's, don't you want to talk about your feelings? And he goes, no, I don't want to talk about my feelings.
Well, no, wait. First, it was Dean talking about stuff. He's like, "Oh, you made that guy sell his soul.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you want to talk about that?" No.
I, d- on one side, I do like that they're acknowledging that it's very gray moral area here, and
hmm
that they're acknowledging that he's done some monstrous stuff, and Dean too. But on the other hand, they're doing kind of the same shit where they're not progressing in other areas, like because the crux of this episode is that they're trying to kill these werewolves because they're just werewolves because that's the right thing to do, which is
Yeah,
again what they've been doing before, where they learn the same lesson continually that not every monster is a
yeah.
monster.
And Dean was one of the ones who said, "Hey, let's let her go as long as she keeps her nose clean." But
Hmm.
then apparently it's just, "Oh, we should kill her."
Yeah,
Even after she does, the right thing in the end, it's still like, "Should we go after her?"
yeah, and they do the same thing where he's like, "They're monsters. We kill monsters, right?" And they've said that line maybe 1,000 times,
Yeah, like
and
how
this is
many
right
times does
after.
Dean need to fucking remember that? It's just insulting at this point. This character doesn't get beyond this point.
And this is right after the Dean as a demon thing getting cured, and I get the
Yeah.
feeling they were trying to do like he is feeling guilty about what he was and he wants to kill everything, but it doesn't seem any different than what he used to do, so it doesn't
Like
come
he
off
should
that way.
like one of the lines he says at the end is, because he did so many bad things, he kind of wants to do the right thing again. So it feels like if they wanted to do something to show that, he should have been more the opposite of what he was like in this episode, which was, "I want to kill everything." He
Yeah, we
should have
should.
been more, "I want to try and help her." If he had been really like, "I want to help Kate more than usual," and no, he was the one pushing more to
Mhm.
help more than Sam, then I would have got that vibe better.
Yeah, and it would have made more sense with Sam's whole like going down the dark road theme they're trying to do with him and what he did with Lester, like he's becoming more like Dean and Dean becoming more like Sam, sort
Mm-hmm.
of.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, if they, I would have liked it better if they did that, but it just sort of. Mm.
Yeah, in the end, just Dean came off like a really big piece of shit in this
Well, he
episode.
came off like he did before. It didn't come off like he's trying to redeem himself. He came off like he
Yeah.
used to be.
Well, I mean, it was too much. There's one thing of being like the skeptic about stuff, but then he comes in, they're talking to Kate, and she's like, "No, I do things to try and suppress it. I do yoga." He's like, stupid new age crap. I don't care.
New age
It's just,
hippy dippy crap,
yeah,
I
hippy
believe is the
dippy
term.
crap. It's just like, fuck off, Dean. Like,
Well, he had to
seriously.
assert his heterosexuality, like he can't be
Uh,
into yoga and stuff. They
uh,
had some good insults in this one, I found. I liked the Paul Bunyan and Mary Kate and Ashley. Had some good
yeah,
ones.
Mary Kate Ashley.
Yeah. I mean, because the sister did turn out to be evil in the end, and then but seemed like
Yeah,
the only
Kate's
person.
sister, who she turned into a werewolf because she got into a car accident, so she did it to save her life.
Yeah,
That was the issue with this, because Kate turned her sister, but her sister didn't end up like Kate as a werewolf. She still wanted to kill people, so the dilemma was killing her or trying to save her.
Yeah, and it seemed like the only person that was making any good calls in this was Kate,
Hmm.
which is sort of bringing back the point that our main characters are more unlikable than the supporting
Yeah.
people they bring
I
in.
mean, Sam wasn't very bad, but he wasn't very assertive about his position either. Like,
Yeah.
you could tell he didn't agree with Dean, but he didn't stand up to him that much either.
Yeah,
Just
well, Dean was like, I want to do the right thing because I'm tired of doing the wrong thing. The right thing, apparently, is lying that they have a cure so that she will
yeah,
take them to her sister and then they can kill her and kill both
yeah,
of them, actually.
that was just completely despicable. The whole lying about having a cure for being a
Yeah.
werewolf, and like, what's the cure, Dean? Knife is the cure, Sammy.
And I thought Sam was gonna go along with it and then betray Dean about it, like he was gonna do the right thing or something. Like I thought that maybe
Yeah,
that's what
that
they were
would have
leading
been
up
good.
to, but
Hmm.
then they didn't. He just
Yeah,
mentioned like when he comes in with the gun toward the sister, like she's like, can't believe my own sister sold me out, and then he's like, actually she didn't. That's it.
yeah,
That's his right thing. Just owning up to the fact that she
yeah.
didn't. It was my brother, but I'm still gonna shoot you.
Hmm. Because Dean said, like, I mean, if she had been able to talk to her, and she could get her to try to go out in the woods. I mean, they kind of something they should probably let her try to do.
Hmm.
But I mean, obviously that wasn't going to happen. But like, just
Well, and
they
and it
they want
probably.
to do despicable deeds to try and get to what they consider the right thing, and that doesn't come off as doing the right thing.
Hmm. Well, and if they wanted it to be a real parallel to Sam and Dean, they probably should have ended it with they let her take her into the woods to try and rehabilitate her anyway,
Hmm.
because that's what happened with Dean. They really don't know if he's entirely cured or not, or if he's going to relapse or whatever, because he still has the mark of Cain. So, unless they were trying to go for it's hopeless, Dean's a lost cause, then
Yeah.
if they wanted to do a real parallel, then that's probably what they should have done. Even if she did do terrible things, that would have been a
Well, I
selfless
mean,
act
there
on their
there
part.
was some hints that maybe that's what they're trying to say about the Dean storyline. Like, I don't know, because when Dean says something about when you kill a human, there's no coming back from that, and then Sam's all looking worried. You
Hmm.
can tell he's thinking, "Oh no, that's what Dean did."
Yeah, well, it feels like Dean is thinking that he is not
Say,
redeemable,
well,
but
as
then
of
then he
this
says things
episode,
like
not
trying to do
really.
the right thing. So I don't know.
Yeah, but he needs to start showing that, and he needs to start remembering he's learned this lesson about not all monsters being evil. Like, I don't remember how many times.
Well, and they have Garth again. Garth is a werewolf now, and they let
Yeah,
him go, and so
yeah, his war buddy Benny,
uh-huh.
whatever.
Well, I mean, if you're just going with like werewolves that can, they're not all evil. They have an
Hmm.
example who's a friend of theirs, and not just that one girl that they met.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I didn't hate the episode mostly because they weren't talking about the overarching plot, which was
Hmm.
nice because we got a break from the angels and the demons. So it was a nice reprieve.
Be
But
nicer if they had kept it in a state where you could see Kate coming back and doing stuff, but
yeah,
supernatural, whatever.
yeah, she would have been an interesting supporting character. The same with Benny. Any kind of like creature character to be around would be neat.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
But I'm not really. They don't really keep their supporting characters
No, they're
around
not
that they
good
do
at
have.
remembering promises because Dean insinuated he would get Benny out of purgatory again.
Well,
But I mean,
after
that'll
they get
come
Adam.
after Adam's done rotting in hell. So,
Yeah, well, I
the
mean, they
to
didn't.
do list, people I promised to save. This list is getting pretty long, Sammy. We gotta throw it in the fire to do the right thing. There we go. They're all saved because the list is blank now. Did the right thing. I don't know about that, Dean? Shut up, Sammy. Okay.
I got a guy killed.
I killed him.
Dean, you're going down the wrong path.
What are you gonna do about it? Go along with it.
Would you like some more pie, Dean?
Does remind me, you pointed out I liked the no hunting sign when they were relaxing at the start.
Yeah, that was a nice touch. See,
Yeah.
that was sort of like some subtle humor that they did, like that reminded me of like the older days. That's
Mm-hmm.
part of why the beginning was nice because they let some lightheartedness in, but it didn't feel stupid. It just felt like it was two brothers trying to relax and trying to kind of heal things,
Yeah.
and it didn't feel like overly
And it's been missing for way too long. So
yeah, yeah. And they didn't have Castiel or Crowley in this episode.
yeah, but
Uh,
I just assumed Castiel was with Hannah saying we'll meet up with them any second now, and
yeah. Well, I
fell
kept
asleep at the wheel
I
again.
kept imagining like any point during the episode, just cut to Castiel doing something like completely not important. You know, just eating some chips, driving.
These don't taste as good as an angel. Why did God do this?
And then Hannah falls into some more popcorn bags and is incapacitated.
That's amazing. Popcorn,
Yeah,
like her
there was some
kryptonite.
there were some screen grabs of her getting flung into the shelf
I do
in that.
remember. I forgot to mention it when we did the podcast on that episode, but I was wondering what the hell hurt her.
Yeah,
Then,
apparently she just hit some popcorn bags, and that's
yeah,
why she couldn't save Castiel from death because those popcorn bags hurt her arm really bad.
popcorn.
There were 5 bags, all right, 5 bags. Anyone would have been the same.
Yeah, it all makes sense.
So, yeah. Last thoughts on the episode?
It was an alright episode, but Dean was too big of a fucking asshole in it, and especially for what they're going with of him trying to do the right thing, they should have gone the other direction with it for
Yeah.
his character.
Yeah, I'd say it was an okay episode. I didn't hate it. It's not essential viewing, but it's got some elements to it that I thought were all right.
Yep.
All right. That's it then.
I don't understand that popcorn.